Hi everybody, welcome to lesson number 3 of Music at Home. Hope you had a good Easter. It's been nice to have a bit more free time, hasn't it, over the Easter holidays? Well, I learned a couple of extra things over those holidays as well, and I learned that some of you have been having some really good fun. Now, I had a special message, and I'm going to mention the message that I had, and that was that a class of children at a school in Malawi have been using their homeschooling, that's in Southeast Africa. They've been using these music video lessons for their homeschooling too. So if you're in Malawi in South Africa, hi, it's really good to be with you that far away. Now, do you remember on our first lesson we stayed in this room, didn't we? For the whole lesson we stayed in the entrance of Lode Street Studios in Bewdley. And this week, or sorry, last lesson, we clicked our fingers and we came into here. This is our live room. So our live room is our silent room that we've got. This is the room we can make lots of noise. You can see that drum kit over there in the corner, and that is to keep all the sound in the room, but also to stop any other sound from outside getting into the room as well, because we record things in this room. But we're going to go over into another room today, a room that is especially designed to help us with the science of music, which is what we're going to talk about today. So let's go. Here, this is our control room. Lots and lots of equipment in our control room. So it's quite an impressive place to be. But before we start our lesson properly today in talking about the science of music, I've had lots of other messages over the Easter holidays too of people who have really been enjoying their music lessons with me in their own homes. Have a look at these. I play my ukulele. So it really makes my day when I get to see what you've been doing in your home. So if you want to let me know what you've been up to, you can either just comment in the comments box underneath the YouTube video, or you can actually send me an email, musicathome 24/7, that's 247, at gmail.com, and I'd love to see some of the things that you've been getting up to. If you want me to give you a shout out, you can give me your name as well. Now then, today we're actually going to be looking at something completely different. So we've covered a little bit of rhythm in lesson 1. We worked out the difference between a beat and a rhythm. Then in lesson 2 we did the ukulele song with the plums and the cherries and the pineapples and the bananas, and we got all those different rhythms, didn't we? But I wonder if you know where sound comes from. What makes the sound that makes music? Well, it's vibration. So the slightest little vibration is enough to create sound. Let me show you. If I pick up my guitar here, and if I strum one string, or just pluck one string on my guitar, that string is now vibrating. Now you can't see that from there, but let me give you a close-up. Wow, you can really see that string wobbling up and down, can't you? And it's interesting that the deepest sounds, the lowest notes, wobble much bigger because they create a sound wave, like a wave on the ocean, on the sea. A big wave makes a deep sound. And if we have a really, really high note, the waves are very much smaller. So this time, let me just pluck the smallest string, string number 1 on my guitar. And again, you can't see that wobble, but let's have a little look, a close-up slow motion. It's amazing, isn't it? Actually, even then, you had to really look carefully to see that wobble on that string because it wobbles so much faster than the big string. So this is how sounds work really, really well. So I know that we've practiced in the last couple of lessons, we've practiced some really deep voices. So do you remember on shotgun, on lesson 1, we went down, down, down. Really deep voices. Now when I make that sound, and when you make that sound, down, down, down. Okay, you can do a slow-mo version like that. Down, down, down. When we do those really low notes, our vocal cords inside here, okay, are wobbling really big because we're making some really deep sounds. But if we were to practice some really high notes, what's the highest note you can do? I can do down, down, down. Okay, that's a really silly sound, isn't it? Okay, I'm going to get really slated for this when I go back to school. Down, down, down. Okay, really high-pitched noises like that. My vocal cords are wobbling, but really, really small amounts. You can hardly see it. So, just like on the guitar strings, our vocal cords inside our throats, we call it a voice box is another word for it, but that is behaving in exactly the same way. Something else that's really, really super interesting about sound as well. I wonder if you've got anything in your house that is like a tube or like a pipe, not the ones connected to your radiators. Don't hit those. You're going to get into big trouble if you do that. But maybe like this. I've lost it. There. Like this. This is off my vacuum cleaner. So I'm going to tap this on my knuckles and listen. Can you hear that it's quite a high pitch? When I've held it in a different place, that pitch changed. And the reason for that is because I am making a very short tube there, or if I hold it down at the bottom, it's a longer tube if I hold it somewhere in the middle. So listen again, high, middle, low. We can definitely hear the difference between the high and the low, but maybe not so much between the high and the middle. But that's just something that I found lying around the house. Well, it was stuck to the vacuum cleaner and I've taken it off, but I shall go and put it back on before Mrs. Carrigan's asking me where it's gone. So I'm going to put that down for a moment and I'm going to show you some more tubes. Okay, I've got this tube. Okay, now this tube is about the same length as your ruler that you use at school. But because it's a big round tube, if I tap it, we can hear that it sounds quite high. Okay, what about then if I get another one that is actually now about the length of two of your rulers? Because I can tell you that actually this tube, the longer one, is exactly twice as long as the little one. So if I put the little one away over there, oh, that's going to make a noise now. So watch this. So this is a longer tube. That's definitely making a sound, isn't it? And we can tell that it's almost a note. Okay, so listen. It's good, isn't it? Okay, now, what happens with the sound then on here is as I tap it on my knuckles like that, the sound goes inside the tube. And the sound wave bounces around inside the tube until it comes out of the other end. Okay, so that's why we can hear it. So, let's get another tube. Wow, look at the size of this one. Okay, now this tube is exactly twice as long as my second tube. I don't know if I can hold all of them at the same time, but we're going to try this. I'm going to put a small one there as well. This could be disastrous. I think I might drop them all. But there we go. Look at that. So number one tube, the smallest tube that I had, is at the bottom. Then the next one is twice as long as that. And the next one is twice as long as that. So each of these notes, because they're exactly twice the length, are going to sound a bit lower each time. In fact, an octave lower each time. I'm going to hold these ones down. Now, I have no spare hands now, so I've found another hard surface that I can tap my, my tube against. Right, are we ready? Here we go. Listen carefully. All right, there's no sense in there, so there's no feeling. So watch, here we go. All right, now then, let's take the next one, which is twice as long. Wow, okay, and let's take the next one, which is twice as long again. Wow, okay, could you hear that one? It's really deep, isn't it? Let's drop the other one there. All right, on my knee. I get a really, really good sound out of here. And again, exactly the same way, I'm going to hold that up to the camera and look down. I spy with my little eye. Okay, now this tube is completely empty. It's completely hollow, which means that the sound goes inside and it shoots all the way down the pipe and it comes out the other end. So what then if I decide I'm going to block one end up? So let me get my middle-sized tube, like that one there, and let me get a little stopper on the end of it. So watch here. So let's listen to this tube again. And this one. Okay, now then, this tube is half the length of this tube. So when the sound goes in, it travels this far and then it comes straight back out. But if I put a cap on the end of it, let's put that cap on the end of there, what's going to happen this time is that the sound goes inside the tube and it bounces down the tube and it hits the wall at the end. Look now, there's no hole all the way through it. So the sound comes back and comes back out the top end. So effectively, this tube is now, in terms of where the sound is going, the same length as this one. Do you believe me? There's only one way to find out. Because if I tap this one on my head, and now tap this one, hopefully it will sound the same. Are we ready? It does sound the same. So this note is a deep note, And this note is also a deep note as well. So now then, when you go and find a tube around your house, okay, let me tell you that my tubes are very, very soft. Look, I can squeeze them, all right? So don't hit yours on your head, okay? Find something else, just your hand, okay? Hold your hand out like that and tap. And you will hear the difference in the sound. Okay, so now then, these are called boom whackers. Okay, boom whackers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the cap off that middle one, and I'm going to put the cap onto the smallest one. That's the high pitch sound. So let's put the cap on the end like that. So, which boom whacker tube is this now the same length as? Is it the same length as the big one? Or is it the same length as the middle one? The middle one is right. So let's put the big one away. Let's put that down over there. And let's now look at this one. So remember how this one sounded before? It was very high. Okay, if I put the cap on the end of it, it should now sound like this one. Okay, so they both sound the same, and that's the science behind sound. That is how sound is made. Lots and lots of little vibrations, but depending on how long the sound can vibrate for and how big a wobble the sound can make depends on the pitch of the note. So I wonder if we can try something with our voices. So we're going to sing high, high, low, low, high, high, low. Can you do that with me? Ready? Let's go then. And high, high, low, low, high, high, low. Okay, really, really good. So I think we could practice that a little bit more, but I think it will sound better if we've got a bit of music. So let me get that guitar again. We were trying to watch those strings wobble earlier on. Okay, and I'm going to pick a C chord because those boom whackers, those big tubes, the big red tubes I had, were all the note C. So if I play a C chord on my guitar like that, all right, it goes high, high, low, low, high, high, low. Sing with me. High, high, low, low, high, high, low. And high, high, low, low, high, high, low. High, high, low, low, high, high, low. Good. And I was able just to make a change in the note, or the chord that I played on the guitar then as well, even though we were singing the same note. It just gave it a different flavour. It made it sound just that little bit more interesting. So we're going to go through it once more now. So this is the C chord, okay, and we're going to go high, high, low, low, high, high, low, and high, high, low, low, high, high, low. Good. Copy the rhythm this time then. We're going to go high, 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 low, 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 high, 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 low, low, low. Ready, go. High, 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 low, 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 high, 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 low, low, low. Fantastic. Really, really good. We could pick any note we want to. If I change the chord to a G chord, and this time I'm going to go high, high, low, low, high, high, low. Ready, go. High, high, low, low, high, high, low. Good. If I change to a D chord, high, high, low, low, high, high, low. Oh, I had to go really low for a D. Here we go again. And high, high, low, low, high, high, low. Fantastic. Really, really good. So let's have a look at that sound wobble one more time. All right, I absolutely love that. I think it's great watching guitar strings in slow motion because you just don't see them wobble like that in real life. Now then, you don't have to have a big set of boom whackers in your house, and you certainly don't need to find lots of different Hoover pipes or vacuum cleaner pipes. You can find these. That's right, these are just drinking straws, but I've cut one shorter than the other one. In fact, it's half the length. So, just like with the boom whackers, if I blow across the top, watch this one, and this one, and this one, you can hear that there is a difference in the pitch. So next week, I'm going to try and show you how we can create a musical instrument out of drinking straws. So if you've got some in your house, make sure you save about 8 will be really good. Or perhaps maybe between now and next week's lesson, you might be able to get mum or dad to pick some up from the supermarket when they do their main shop. So these drinking straws are plastic. I know most of them that you get now are paper as well, but paper ones work just as well. So any tubes like that, we're going to do that in next week's lesson. I look forward to seeing you again then. All right, but for now, take care. Bye.